Welcome back to Mimi's Organic Eats. Today we're making one of my favorite recipes ever, these bone broth everything bagels. Now these bone broth everything bagels are soft and chewy and they taste just like your favorite bagels but with the addition of bone broth. The dough is quick and easy to mix up in your stand mixer. Let me show you guys how to make them. So the first step in making bone broth everything bagels is going to be adding our yeast, water, and bone broth to our stand mixer. You guys are going to need 9 grams of instant yeast and this is going to be 1 packet. Next we're going to add half a cup of warm water. And you guys want to make sure that your water is warm but not hot. If your water is too hot, it can actually kill the yeast and your bagels won't rise. And then next we're adding our secret ingredient, bone broth. Next we're going to add 284 grams of bread flour. I like using a mix of bread flour and all-purpose flour in bagels. It's going to make them super chewy. Next we're going to add about 2 teaspoons of honey for just a little sweetener. And then last we're adding 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So then we're going to mix this on low until it comes together and then continue mixing it until it's smooth. It's going to take about 2 minutes. If you guys want to do this by hand, you can do that as well. You'll just need a large mixing bowl and you can just mix this dough up with your hands. Once the dough is smooth, then it's ready to transfer to a greased bowl. I like to add a little bit of olive oil to the bowl. This is going to ensure that the dough doesn't stick too bad. Next, we want to cover the bowl with plastic wrap and we're going to let this rise for about 1 to 2 hours or until it doubled in size. And whenever making any kind of bread, you always want to look for visual signs that the dough has actually doubled in size versus going off the time frame. The time frame is just the estimate and it can vary depending on your climate. If you want to speed up this process, put this in a warm place like by your oven or by your fireplace. So once your dough has doubled in size, we're going to line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Then we're going to do a little drizzle of olive oil just on the baking sheet. This is going to help ensure that the dough doesn't stick during the second rise. Now we're going to lightly flour our work surface. And you guys can use all-purpose flour or bread flour for this. Either works since both are in the bagels. Now we're going to turn the dough out onto the flour. And now this is going to be sticky, so you want to just coat it with enough flour that makes it easy enough to work with. And now we're going to divide the dough into 8 equal portions, and you guys can just eyeball this if you want. Now once we have our 8 balls of dough, we're just going to take each one and we're going to round it and smooth it out by tucking it under itself. And you just want to drag the dough against the counter and tuck it under itself until you have a smooth round ball. Now we're just going to take these dough balls and place them on the prepared baking sheet. Now we're just going to cover these with a kitchen towel. These just need to rest for about 30 minutes to 1 hour or until the dough feels springy to the touch. So next we're going to get our poaching liquid ready. So we're going to fill a large stock pot with water. So now we're going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Once your dough is ready, it's going to be springy right when you poke it with your finger. So now it's time to make holes in these bagels. And so we're just going to take our dough and just create a hole right into the center. And you can just pull it with your fingers. And now you guys always want to make your bagel holes a little bit bigger than you actually want them because the bagels are going to expand as they boil and bake. So it may seem like that's a big hole, but that's actually perfect. Once you have the holes in your bagels, then it's time to bring the water to a boil. Then we're gonna add in a little bit of cane sugar and just a little bit of salt. Now we're gonna drop in our bagels, and I like to do about 4 at a time in this large pot, but you don't wanna overcrowd your pot. Now we're just gonna boil the bagels for about 25 to 30 seconds on each side, then flip them over. Once the bagels are boiled, then we're gonna remove them and place them back on the baking sheet. Then we're gonna drop in the remaining bagels. Once our bagels are boiled, then it's time to sprinkle them with the everything bagel mix. You wanna do this right away so that the mix sticks to the hot bagels. Now if you guys wanna do poppy seed or sesame seed, you can do that in its place, or you can also leave these plain. Now we're gonna bake these at 375 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes or until golden brown to your liking. And look at these golden brown and so delicious bone broth everything bagels. You guys can enjoy these bone broth bagels just like a regular bagel. Enjoy them warm out of the oven with a big slab of butter on top, or toast them up and add your favorite cream cheese spread. And you can also use them for sandwiches. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and leave a comment below. And if you want more recipes using bone broth, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join me next time in the kitchen.